Okay, so this week, I'll introduce the chef in a bit, but we're going to talk about pizza, and the most important, or a very key ingredient for pizza is the pizza dough. We'll learn about the pizza dough, but I wanted to try and tell you something about pizza dough in general, about bread dough, pizza dough. I have a picture here of bread dough, but this is just what I had in my files. And so, who here has made bread dough or pizza dough? Okay, so the first thing you do is you ball it up, right? Well, it must be a solid, right? It holds its shape. Something's a solid, it holds its shape. Something's a fluid, it flows everywhere, right? A gas goes everywhere. A fluid flows everywhere on the ground. And a bread dough is a solid. But wait, what if you wait a long time? What happens? Is the bread dough a solid, or if you wait? It gets bigger, it flows, right? So that's an important thing about many materials, many interesting materials. They have both a character of a liquid and a solid. And in fact, Giorgia is going to use some dough that I think she said she made on Saturday, and she made little balls. And I took a picture of that just before on my phone. Now it looks like this. You see, it's spread out. So something that's a solid can still flow if you wait long enough. So what do we call that? Oh, it's not a liquid because it doesn't flow everywhere, but it's a viscoelastic material. Something that has both liquid and elastic properties. But this week we're going to talk mainly about the elastic properties, and I'm an experimental physicist, so I like to do experiments. So what happens if I lift these? They go different distances, right? The weights are the same. Let me see if I can hold my hand right at the same point. A little different. I could make it really different. I could take one of these springs. That's much stiffer. So springs tell us something about the elasticity, the elastic properties. And so the way you measure that is you put a weight on the spring and you measure how much it changes, how much longer it gets. And that's the equation. Okay, this is just the ratio of the force and the extension. Well, the problem is, if I want to talk about something like food, I don't really want to talk about different kinds of springs, because if I made this spring twice as long, I would get a different extension. I want to have something that's really unique, that describes just the nature of the material. It's sort of like the spring constant. And that's very important. It's very important because what you taste is not just the flavor, but it's how you chew, how you bite into something. The bread dough, the pizza dough, how well it's cooked is going to have a different character to it. In class, we use just something that we can vary in a very simple way, and that's like something like meat, like a steak. You know that if it's just lightly cooked, bleu, very rare, it's much softer than if it's overcooked or well done, right? And so the texture is related very much to the elasticity, to how elastic the material is. Something that's much stiffer, like a well-done steak or a heavily cooked piece of pizza dough, is more elastic. The elastic constant, the elasticity of the material is greater. And so what we try to do is look at that in some more formal way. And so we literally take a weight, the same thing we do with the spring. We take a weight and we measure the deformation. And so then we don't want to use exactly the same equation. Instead, we use this equation. This is really the same equation. Look, this is the force and this is the extension. But now we normalize the force by the area. And we normalize the extension by the relative extension. Okay, so L naught is the initial size and A is the area. And we can really do these kinds of experiments. We can literally measure the difference in the elastic constant, in the elastic modulus of steak, just by measuring how much they change. So we do the experiment, we take something, we use a glass slide and a cube of beef here. We know the dimensions, we know the height, so we need L naught, and we know area, and then we put a weight on it. We know the force, because we know the weight, and we measure the deformation. And so from that, we can measure the elastic constant. So that's how we do the measurement. Then, of course, we eat the steak. Well, we could do the same for pizza dough, and we'll learn about pizza dough. And so it's really a pleasure to introduce, I'm not sure I'm going to get your name right, Giorgia Caporuscio, who's a master pizza maker, pizzaiolo, at Don Antonio's, the pizza place in New York. And we'll learn all about pizza from her. And so, Giorgia, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm super happy to be in this class today. It's such an honor to talk about Neapolitan pizza and a little bit my story. I always say that making pizza is my yoga, and I want to explain you why. So I come from a small town between Rome and Naples. It's called Terracina. It's not tourist, it's not famous. I came in New York in 2009, when I just finished my culinary high school in Italy. Zero idea what was my future. I never made pizza before, so I was really want to just learn English and stay with my father. My father is a pizza maker, and he was just opened his first location in Bleecker Street, if you're familiar with New York City. And it was his first almost first Neapolitan pizza in New York City. So the only way to stay close to him, in touch with him, is stay in the pizza shop. So in the morning I was learning English, and in the afternoon I just go and stay in the pizza shop. But everyone, all these co-worker, employee was making fun of me. The stereotype of Italian woman make pizza, pasta. I didn't know how to make pasta. I didn't know how to make pizza. So little by little, I say, why not show them that I can make better pizza than them? And here I am. In 2023, almost, I took over Don Antonio, which is one of his locations. So me and my father, before the pandemic, we have 3 locations in New York City. We make Neapolitan pizza. And in 2023, between 2020 and 23, I decided to take over Don Antonio, which is one of his locations, and now mine. So I'm my boss. And this year, finally, after 14 years that I'm doing Neapolitan pizza, I was the pizza maker of the year of Neapolitan Pizzeria in the inside of United States. Thank you. This means for me and to anyone in this room outside that anyone can change career and can learn how to make pizza from zero. okay? Don Antonio, I was playing a little bit where is Don Antonio and my idea. Don Antonio is located in Midtown, in the hseas kitchen, right a few blocks from Times Square. I try to keep as much I can tradition Neapolitan pizza. We bring everything from Italy, the oven, the ingredients, the fry oil that I use for frying pizza, because my signature pizza is fried pizza. So, and after I explain you a little bit more deep, me and my husband, we try to from the front of the house, so the bar, the beverage, to keep as much we can product from Italy and all tradition, so you can have a taste of real Neapolitan Italian food from everything. And this is why I'm here for explain everyone what is the difference also between Neapolitan pizza and any kind of pizza that you can find here or in New York. Because if you understand what is behind something, a food, for example, you understand, you appreciate more, I think. So Neapolitan pizza is 12-inch pizza, individual size. I explain like that. It's have puffy crust and it's thin in the middle. It's cooking in a wood fire oven for 90 seconds. 90 seconds, so we are really fast. Of course, today I'm gonna be use electric oven. I cannot have a wood fire oven over here. So a wood fire oven is reach more than 100 Fahrenheit. So this is why it's cooking for 90 seconds or 1 minute. This is the recipe over there that many here, more than 300 years old, like they used to make in Naples, and I make over here. My dough is fresh yeast, salt, water from New York. It's good, guys. I don't bring water from Italy, okay? Water from New York and flour, 00 flour. This is my recipe. And I'm here to tell you all my secrets. I don't have any secrets, guys. Because my idea and my vision in general is, if I tell you everything that I know, in any way, in any part of the United States or the world, you're gonna make so different pizza than me. Why? Because I use my hands to stretch. And also me, that I make, now is 14 years that I make pizza, every day or every dough is different than the other one. So I'm not a machine, and so it's gonna be different. And also, it depends what you like, what pizza that you like. I never say that my pizza is worse or better than the other one. It's just different. In New York City, you can find in every single corner different kind of pizza. Chicago style, New York style, deep dish, 14-inch pizza. Wherever you like it, you can find it in Naples or in New York. I never say that it's bad or wrong. It's just different. This is my idea, okay? So as I say, the dough, everyone asks me what is my secret, as I mentioned before. I don't have any secrets. So for make the best pizza, I say all the time, is for fact. The dough, you need to make good dough. You need to have a good pizza maker. You need to have a good oven. And you need to have great ingredients, of course. So when we talk about dough, it's so different, for example, about meat or other kind of food, because meat, fish are dead. Dough is always growing because it involves fermentation. So the dough that I make today, like that I show you how to stretch today, they make Saturday. So they is at almost 3 days old. And I can make dough, I can make pizza also tomorrow. And maybe in the next day, maybe. But that is what is the biggest difference of dough and fermentation, and also more in Neapolitan pizza. The good pizza maker need to understand what kind of, dough have in front of, them. It means how you touch, where you touch, because I don't flip in the air, guys, the dough. I just stretch on the counter, okay? I'm not a kind of show in the air. I'm not a kind of pizza maker, okay? And trust me, they don't need to do that, okay? So it means that the dough that is at least 2 days fermentation. If you come in our shop, it's at least 2 days fermentation. It's more than 24 hours fermenting. Why I do that? Because instead of fermenting inside your stomach, it's fermenting outside. If you go to 99 cents, everyone I know for sure, and they try a slice and go over wherever you like, wherever you want. Like they try at least one time in your life a slice, a sliced pizza. 99 cents. They use cheap ingredients, wherever, but you feel full right away, right? Because they don't let fermenting enough outside your stomach, your body. So this is why you feel full right away, because it's fermenting inside. It's important to understand all this kind of fact to, have a good approach of the dough so the pizza maker can touch in the right way. The important things of touching, and after you're gonna see when I touch my dough, with Neapolitan pizza, you don't need to smash, you don't need to throw in the air. And if you can see on the picture, when I stretch, I almost on the up, like over there, on the one side, is almost I break the dough, because you need to be really, really soft and gentle. This is why I say all the time that pizza is my yoga, because I need to just focus on the stretching part. I cannot touch 2 times the same spot. I cannot touch with like that. You're never gonna be hear from me that, and I always teach that, because during the fermentation, the fermentation create gas, air, that pizza maker need just to push gentle to have the crust. So this is why Neapolitan pizza have the puffy crust, because we push gentle on the crust, okay? All the ingredients, high quality of ingredients, they change completely the result of the pizza. Flour need to have constantly the same. One of my secrets is, if you guys come today to my shop, or tomorrow, or in 2 months, you're gonna find the same exactly pizza. Also, if I change the recipe, because nobody understands that pizza maker, all the time, every day, I look at the weather. This is also a part of the fermentation and stretching part, because the weather, the humidity affect all the time the dough, like a bread. So summertime, I put cold water, for example, inside for mix my dough. Wintertime, maybe a little bit warmer. and I switch. Like during the year, I go from cold to hot. And in base of the weather, I change also the yeast. It's adjust. So all the time, my coworker, they call me in the morning and say, oh, what is the recipe for today? What is the recipe for tomorrow? And I talk also with my pizza maker. What is the result yesterday? A lot water, no water, all this kind of stuff, all these kind of details affect completely your final result. That you don't have maybe in pasta or maybe in food, in meat. That is also a big difference. Ingredients is important on the pizza. The quantity, but also the quality. I don't let my customer change the ingredients or customize pizza because I spend so much time to find and to import my product from Italy to let it taste exactly for each slice the right amount of tomatoes, the right amount of cheese, the right amount of extra virgin olive oil in the same slice. So when you try, you understand what I put on the pizza. That is my goal all the time. If you just, like some pizza you can customize and just put meat, salami, pepperoni, cheese on top, on the bottom, spicy olive oil all over. But you don't taste. You taste as something that you don't know what you're eating. I know it's good. I like cheese too, but I cannot put also, it depends on the dough. How old is the dough? How my base sustain all the ingredients, because all my ingredients have percentage of water. Also the dough have water. And more old the dough is going, and more water is going out. And this is important to understand. Also, if you're using a fridge, my dough, I have at least fermenting in room temperature, okay? Because my idea is to let it fermenting in naturally way. If you let it ferment in a refrigerator, you slow down the fermentation, and when you're gonna use it, you need to take out from refrigerator at least 3 hours before for stretching. Why? Because I always say that it's important to remember. When you go to the gym, you warm up your muscle for stretching, for let your muscle stretch as much your muscle can. And the same way, you need to think about the dough. You let the dough warm up so can the elastic part, the elastic gluten, coming back and stay warm and can stretch. After I show you when I make the dough, when I make the ball, you cannot stretch, for example, right away. You let it sit, okay? In the same way with when you put the dough in the refrigerator. This dough I take because I drove to New York, so I let it put in the refrigerator so I have good consistency of dough. But in our shop, I don't put in the refrigerator. Just when it's really summer and humidity is 100%, like a lot, I need to put in the refrigerator. Like in other part of the world, for example, Brazil or Aspen in June, sometimes I put ice in the water when I mix the dough to slow down the fermentation and to have a good consistency of dough, because you need all the times, I need all the times to think about my co-worker, my employee, and me, to have good consistency of dough, because it's really hard to stretch Neapolitan pizza when it's 3 days old and when it's when it's super hot outside, okay? The oven. So good oven. It means also good fornaio. It's called fornaio, the guy that works inside the oven, okay? When we have wood fire oven, it's really challenge for us. So when I train in a new guy to work inside the oven, a lot of people doesn't want to work because if wood fire oven is heat, is a lot of factor that is not a kind of easy job, because working with the oven is working with another person. The oven answers you. So if you feed in the wrong way, the oven is gonna be like burnt Oreo pizza. I always say, working with a wood fire oven and Neapolitan pizza, the pizza is gonna tell you what is the temperature inside the oven. And everyone are shocked. How gonna, I don't know it. Because the pizza inside the oven, we use a metal where we put the wood. Everyone, the customers that have wood fire oven at home, always they come to me and they say, oh, why my pizza is always black in the bottom and white on the top? Because everyone just put the piece of wood on the bottom of the oven. Instead to have a metal, like we call the nose of the pizza, of the oven, and it's a metal that we put the wood on the top, and we put a piece of wood on the bottom, so it's a balance. Wood fire oven, is never off, never, because it's working the same way that barbecue. So more air go inside, and more you have the flame. More you working, more pizza go inside, and more the temperature go up. Instead of electric oven, more pizza you put inside, and the temperature go down. Every single spot in the wood fire oven absorb the heat of the pizza. So we cannot put this for example, different kind of pizza in the same spot. For example, I have 3 pizza, I cook, and I have another 3 pizza that I need to cook when it's finished. I never put in the same spot. Why? Because that spot is going to be cold, and it's going to take time to cook. So the result is going to be so different. This is why I have a guy all the time, like checking where is the last spot that I put the oven, where I put the pizza. Electric oven, totally different, because electric oven dry the pizza also, because it's cooking for longer time at lower temperature. This is why when I make the dough at home, I put sugar and extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil help moisturize the pizza, so it's not really dry. And sugar help to have the gold color that Neapolitan pizza have. This is the recipe, so I don't have any secret guide. My signature pizza, and what I really love, is a fried pizza. Guys, fried pizza is one of the oldest pizza that you can find in Naples. It's the first street food that was created in Naples. And if you go in Naples now, they're still making the same fried food that a million years they was making. Pizza fritta, okay? Pizza fritta in general, when we talk about pizza fritta, is a filled calzone. So it's a calzone with the stuff inside, okay? But my signature pizza is called montanara. Montanara is we fry the dough, we stretch the dough, we fry, I make little holes in my pizza. Why? Because I have really high percentage of fermentation. So if I don't make holes, it's just a ball. Literally, just a ball. So I create little holes and I fry. And after a few minutes, I put inside, I take out and I put tomato sauce, basil, pecorino romano, smoked buffalo mozzarella that I imported from Naples, and I put inside the oven, the wood fire oven. So all the extra oil evaporate and is crunchy and soft in the same times. I won a competition when I was 22 years old in Naples with this pizza. So this is really why I really am touched about fried food, because also it's a comfort food. It is important to understand fried food is good. Okay? Everyone say, oh, it's not healthy, it's greasy. No, guys. If you cook and do with the right ingredients, it's good for you. It gives you joy, okay? When you're sad, you go with the comfort food. Why you don't have a food that have pizza, the best comfort food, and fry all together? Why not? So also, my oil is coming from Italy. So this is why I 100% try the best to bring the best ingredients to give to anyone the best experience in pizza and cocktail and in Don Antonio. So over here we have the calzone, so fried stuff, and in the other over there we have the Montanara, my signature pizza. And you can see they're totally different. So one is filled inside, and one we just put the ingredients on the top. That is the biggest difference. Of course, the cocktail and the pizza, good, the right combination. So now I show you first what is the dough, how I make the dough in a bowl, and after I show you how I stretch, okay? It's important to understand that all in the fermentation, all the temperature, as I mentioned before, change completely your final result, okay? The pizza that I will make today is gonna come up 100% more crispy than the pizza that are gonna be finding in our shop. Okay, 100%. The dough, it was over here, like 3 hours ago, was overproof. Like I was outside of the case. And yesterday when we arrived over here around 6 o'clock, it was outside of the box. So this is half almost of the total dough. So I take half just to show you what they can be inside. So spatula. So we use spatula that you can buy in any hardware store. I don't put any oil, any flour on the counter when I make the bowl, because everything is absorbed. The dough absorbs everything, all the ingredients that I put over here. And if I put flour, dry my dough, so I don't need it. So I cut. My dough each bowl is 260 grams, 9 ounces each, okay? I don't have scales because almost I know the right measure with my hands after 14 years. So, for example, the dough is like that, and I just try to close as much I can to create a bubble. What you want is over here, the skin, the dough need to be shine. The important thing is that under, you close completely, and you turn. So this is the size of the dough Saturday. morning. And this is the, as you saw it before, after 3 days, 2 days, okay? And you can see over here that is a bubble, is gas, is air that during the fermentation the dough create, the combination of the enzyme create all together. You can see in this corner, when I take off the dough, I use a semolina. Semolina flour is totally different than 00 flour. Semolina flour is the flour that usually you use for pasta. It's really light. You don't need a lot, and doesn't change the taste of the pizza in compared to 00 flour. If you go in the shop that make you a pizza that on the bottom is yellow and tastes kind of bitter, this means that the pizza maker put a lot of flour. And the flour is burned also. That is why. And it's a huge mistake because you don't taste anything else besides flour and besides the ingredients beside. So this is why I use semolina flour. Of course, the first few days, the first few times that you make this kind of, it's gonna be stick on the dough and like stick in your hands. It's normal, okay? Take time. This is why I enjoy also to make pizza, because it is so simple, because it's 4 ingredients, but so complicated because like you change a little bit, like some grams of yeast, some gram like temperature of the water or temperature of the oven, and completely change the final result. Less you touch, and less is better for the dough, because think about someone that touch all the time like that, you stress. And you don't want to stress the dough, guys, okay? Of course, if you're making pizza at home, you need to bigger the measurement, like maybe you have pan to put, so you need to make like 300, 400 grams, or 10 ounces, 11 ounces. Sorry, guys, I'm still with grams after 14 years that I'm in New York. Also, quantity, as I mentioned before, quantity of tomato. Neapolitan pizza, tomato sauce base, pecorino romano, buffalo mozzarella, regular mozzarella cheese, basil. Basil I always put in the between ingredients, okay? Because the heat is, if you don't put enough ingredients, or if you put a lot ingredients, change completely the cooking time, okay? And in Napolitan pizza can affect a lot, because everyone say, oh, I don't like Napolitan pizza because it's soggy. No, guys, if you do in the right way, the Napolitan pizza is not soggy, okay? Right ingredients and right amount of the ingredients. If you put cheese first and after tomato sauce, the cheese block the heat. It's like the cheese is your sunscreen, okay? Protect the other ingredients for burn from the heat, okay? But you need to put in the right amount, okay? So it also gives moisturize to the pizza, okay? So, and also, this is why I put the extra virgin olive oil on the top. And then now I show you. And you can see right now that if I try to push, to stretch, you cannot stretch the dough. That is because the gluten are like really strong and tight. So you need to let it rest. So I make the dough Saturday around around 1 p.m. And I let it ferment in 1 day. The next day, I make bowl like that. and I let it sit for at least 4 hours, okay? At least 3 hours, 4 hours, so I have the right measure to let it and let the gluten relax, so you can touch and you can stretch. And now I'm going to show you the stretching part, the most fun part for me. So semolina, I hope you see, or like little bit. Spatula just in the corner, so I make sure that I take off. And I pinch. So on the stretching part, okay, the dough have, maybe it's easy to see, to show you like that. So the dough have two faces. So beautiful face, no wrinkles, with the shiny, and bad face, okay? We don't like it that. But it's really important. Why? Because if you make mistake to cut off from the case, you flip upside down, as I show you, and after I'm gonna be demonstrate more time so you can see it more. That you can fix it. So now it's a square, almost, and I close like a candy. And I flip upside down. So before it was stick, little bit stitchy, so I can manipulate, and I put on the semolina, and now it's dry, okay? You can see a little bit that here is a bubble, okay? And I touch really gentle. So I push the gas in the corner and let it rest. So you can see it, that is a bubble. What the pizza maker do on the Napolitan pizza, control that. And this is why pizza for me is a yoga, so I can relax just doing my pizza, thinking about it's really soft. And when you push, when you touch the dough, you can feel the bubble. So this is why it's really important for the pizza maker understand what dough you have in the front. And you flip over. I flip over because I don't want to touch the same spot 2 times, because my hands have one temperature. The dough have another one. If I touch multiple times, that dough is hot, and it's gonna be stick on the counter. Now it's big enough, so I push the hair that is in the middle on the crust, and now it's big enough to put my hands, okay? And I just, with this part of my hands, I stretch. Why? Because this part in the middle have a lot of power. So when I start to teach other pizza maker how to make pizza, it's really challenge if you before you was doing hard work, because, if you're a man, it's really hard to control your power that you have in your hands. That is the reason sometimes I say for women it's more easy, because we control, we have less power, but we can know how to control better, okay, our hands. But this is important. I never touch the pizza with this part, just with my fingers, because also it's elastic, and I push. So you see over here is bubble, is gas. And this is the right amount of flour that I use. I start here and I finish here to stretch. Why? Because I don't want to slide the flour under. So at one point, I clean up. And because the dough is talking with you, and you need to hear what it says. So this is the right amount of flour that dough needed for moving around. Everyone say, oh, I'm making pizza on the peel. You don't need it, okay? Because you need to, after you're making pizza every day, at one point you're gonna be here and you're gonna be feel. This is why it's really important to not use gloves when you make pizza, because you feel the dough. So pizza is, Neapolitan pizza is 12-inch, okay? But in this case, it's a little bit smaller because the last touch I will do it on the peel, okay? Make sure before you put ingredients, the pizza is moving, perfect. Good consistency, good base. No one part is I touch more or less, because that, if I don't touch in the right way, so I leave more air in this part is not gonna be cooked. First things, tomato sauce. My tomato sauce, guys, is not marinara sauce, okay? I open the can, coming from Italy, of tomato, squeeze, just put salt, because you don't need, if the tomato is good, you don't need to put sugar, okay? For take off the acidity, okay? Good tomato, put salt, a little bit. And when they put the tomato sauce inside the can, it's already basil. So if you want extra basil, you can put, or if you don't want it. So always in the center, and after I control where to put with your spoon. If you use your spoon like that, you don't have control. With your fingers, you control where to put the tomato. And I always leave exactly, more or less, 1 finger without anything. So the air can pop up during the cooking time. Pecorino, no Parmesan cheese or Parmigiano, because it gives a little bit of salty taste. Cheese. Basil. You can shred, you can put all as way you like it. So, cheese. Even, all the time. So, this is the peel, you can see it, have holes. Why? And it's really light, okay? I use 2 different peel, okay? 2 different peel, one for rotate the pizza and one for put inside the pizza, okay? Why? 2 different temperature. One need to touch cold dough, raw dough, so need to be really cold, okay? Because if it's hot, it's gonna be stick on the pizza. And why I have holes? Because if I make mistake, I put a lot of flour. This one helps me to dry all the extra flour, okay? Right amount of flour. So the pizza is slide inside. And on the last touch, I can see exactly, and I make a little bit more bigger, so I can see perfect, the right amount of cheese. So here, I don't put enough, I put extra. Last thing, extra virgin olive oil. Okay. And I put inside. 1 shot, of course, here is a little bit less. It's like slide because I have a small amount. And I turn on with the dispio. I turn the pizza so I can see exactly all the crust. Over here, during the cooking time, what we want is not one part is cooking more than the other one. We want even. So this is why I turn the pizza with this peel, okay? Because I turn. And I make sure that one side is even compared to the other side. Think about wood fire oven. I have the fire in one part of the oven, and I put the pizza in the other part of the oven, okay? So all the time, during the oven life, I never change the spot of wood, okay, guys? It's really important because when the heat, if you think about every day for all the year, the heat is stay there every day. That part of the oven is going to be down. So this is also why after 12 years, last week I changed the floor of the oven because it was really cracked with the heat. More than 100 degrees every day, so that is really important to put the wood all the time in one spot. Not in the center, one spot, so you can maximize all the part of the oven, okay? So now I open. Oops. And I turn. This one is cooked in the bottom. I don't know if you can see. I check the bottom and check the top. It's a little bit smoky. I know, I'm sorry. We're going to give the pizza to the fire department. So what you want on the crust is checking the sound. I don't know if you hear. And over here, you have the apron. Of course, this one is a little bit white in the bottom. Is what is a yellow and flour and what I mentioned before. If you make a lot, you put a lot flour. That is the black spot and the yellow, more yellow than this one. And also if you don't have the right temperature of the oven. Of course, this pizza is still good, but really good. You have the right amount of tomatoes, the right amount of cheese, and it's even in all the part of the pizza, okay? This is why it's really important also the cooking time. And also what my finger, I can see right away where I put my fingers and why I leave the one fingers without any tomato sauce, okay? Because I want the crust coming up. So now I cut. Guys, if you go in Italy, they don't cut your pizza, okay? It's not something that is a cultural thing. So for this reason, they give you fork and knife, okay? Because you can cut the pizza the way you like it, okay? It's not because they are rude. We are like that, okay? This is not just me, it's a teamwork. So who made the dough? They made in the right way. and I push it in the right spot and with the right enough ingredients. This is crispy, okay? Neapolitan pizza usually is fallen apart. They're more like that, okay? Because it's different style, okay? Thank you.